Hi everyone, it's Sarah. Today, me and my partner Abby will be investigating mixtures and solutions during the process of making homemade chocolate chip cookies. The next video will show Abigail making the cookies and the process that she uses to make her homemade chocolate chip cookie recipe. The clip following that, I will be discussing the science behind the mixtures and solutions that we see whenever we're making the cookie dough and whenever we get the cookies out of the oven. And then in clip 4, Abby will come back to speak about her experience doing this experiment.
Hi guys, I'm Abigail, and just as Sarah said, I will be taking you through the cooking process to making chocolate chip cookies. I will also be going through each step and seeing which steps are considered mixtures and which steps are considered solutions. So let's get into the cooking process. Wash your hands for 20 seconds. For this experiment, we will be making chocolate chip cookies and determining if it is a mixture or a solution. Ingredients we will need for this recipe includes 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup or 2 sticks of softened buttered, 3/4 cup of sugar, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 large eggs, and 2 cups of chocolate chips. 350. Combine flour, salt, and baking soda. Combining these ingredients makes it a mixture because I am physically combining 2 or more ingredients, and at this point the ingredients can be separated back out. Combine 2 sticks of butter, the sugar, the brown sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract into a large bowl. Next, we are going to mix in all of the ingredients until the batter is creamy. Next, we will crack in 2 eggs and then mix. Now we will slowly mix in a little bit of our flour mixture until it is all mixed in and the batter is smooth. I am putting in the last bit of flour and then mixing it. Now the batter is all smooth and it's time for our next part. Now I'm going to pour in the chocolate chips. Stirring in the chocolate chips creates a mixture because I am physically combining these ingredients. This would be considered a heterogeneous mixture because I can easily separate the chocolate chips out of the batter. Now I am picking up spoonfuls of batter to make our cookies. Cookies in for 9 to 11 minutes to bake. After heat was applied to the cookie batter in the oven, it was made into a solution because it was formed into a solid or precipitate, and now I cannot get the ingredients back to its original form. Now we have made a mixture into a solution.
Okay, so as stated before, there are mixtures and there are solutions. So in our mixtures, we have 2 types. One is heterogeneous mixtures and the other is homogeneous mixtures, which solutions are actually a type of homogeneous mixture. So as Abby is making the cookie dough and the batter, we can see that the first step in combining the flour, salt, baking soda is actually a heterogeneous mixture because we can't get all of those ingredients back in their original forms. So then, as we continue to add the rest of our ingredients, we see that Abby has made a homogeneous mixture because there's no way that we can get the mixture that we had, the components in the mixture, apart. They all look the same. We cannot tell them apart. They just look like cookie dough. So then we bake the cookies. Whenever we bake the cookies, it goes in as a liquid and comes out as a solid. So in that instance, we have a precipitate, which means that a solid was formed, which is the cookies. Now, another interesting thing, even though we see the cookie and we see it as a solution, we could also use the cookie to be a heterogeneous mixture because we can distinctly separate the chocolate chip cookies from the cookie itself. So we can separate the chocolate chip cookies and put them in a pile, and then we can put the rest of the cookie dough that was made into its own pile. My experience doing this experiment actually is kind of sad because I was looking forward to making these cookies, but you know, Corona happened and me and Abby weren't able to get together, but so I got to do a lot of the science behind it, which I found really interesting because as I was getting people's opinions, I look at a cookie and I think solution, and other people look at it and say mixture because you can take the chocolate chips apart and neither are wrong. So that's one thing that I found very interesting by doing this experiment.
So I had a lot of fun doing the science fair project. Of course, I wish me and Sarah could present in person so we could share all of our cookies with the whole class. But overall, it was really fun to go through the cooking process of baking cookies and thinking about each step and seeing which ones are mixtures and solutions, because this is something you do very often and you don't normally think about that kind of stuff. I think this science fair project would be very fun to do in a classroom full of children because they can relate mixtures and solutions to something that they do in their real lives, and then also it's just fun to get the class to make cookies and then they get to eat it. So I think this is a very fun experiment to do. Thank you for enjoying and watching our presentation and science fair experiment. If you have any questions, please comment down in the discussion post and Sarah and I will respond back to you with our answers.